This all started when my friend Danny passed away last summer. They said he died in his sleep from natural causes. None of it ever made any sense, but you just sort of accept those things eventually. Danny and I were pretty close friends in grade school, but things fizzled out in 7th grade because I got accepted to the charter school I'd always wanted to go to, and he ended up going to a public school in the next town over. Just to clarify, I'm 17 now and already sending off college applications. Danny was a good kid, but honestly, something was always off about him, so I was able to make the mental adjustment back to my schoolwork pretty quickly once my senior year started. But a couple of months ago, his mom called and said she had a bunch of Danny's old stuff she wanted to give me. I told her that was fine, and she dropped it off at my house the next day. At first, there wasn't really anything of interest, just some old t-shirts, controllers, and books. I let them all sit in my room in a box for a week, until I tripped over the box going to the bathroom late one night. I decided I'd better figure out a place to put all this stuff, so I turned on my lamp and started going through it. At the bottom of the box was an old, cracked Xbox 360 case. The box art was one of those blank templates video game stores print out for used games without a case. All it said was guard.exe. I opened it up, and it was a copy of that old Bethesda game Oblivion. I thought it was odd that someone decided to write Imperial Guard on it, as that was simply a character in the game. It was late that night, but it was also the weekend, so I decided for nostalgia's sake to pop the game in and give it a go. As soon as the title screen and theme music came on, I was instantly transported back to my childhood. My old file was still saved on my Xbox, so I decided to check it out. My last save was in the city, just after you beat the main quest line. I only took a few in-game steps when a guard rushed up to me. He gave me that old goofy spiel. Stop! You violated the law. But the bounty was only 25 gold, so I paid it. But as soon as I spawned outside the jail, 2 more guards rushed up to me with that same arrest dialogue. And again, the bounty was 25 gold. I thought maybe my old file was corrupted, so I started a new file. I gave my new character the same race and build I had before. I played the tutorial quest and headed to Wayne Priory to deliver the amulet. But on my way, an Imperial Legion soldier came straight up to me on horseback and delivered that same old dialogue about stolen goods. And the bounty was again 25 gold. I was pretty annoyed at this point, so I just turned it off and went to bed thinking it was a bad copy. A couple days went by and everything was good. But one day when I got home from school, I heard the Oblivion overworld music coming from my room. I thought, no way, and rushed to my room, and sure enough, the game was all set up, ready to play. Whatever, I said to myself. There had to be some reasonable explanation, and I wasn't going to mess with it. I had tons of homework to do. I finished my homework and passed out, but in the middle of the night, I woke up to the glow of my TV. It was Oblivion. Only this time, the game was super distorted in ways I can't even describe. I shut my door, not wanting to disturb my mom. Intrigued and terrified, I decided to play it. Here's what I captured on my Elgato gaming device.
Stop right there, criminal scum! What's going on?
Completely petrified, to say the least. I took the game out, but as I reached for the case, I noticed there was a faded yellow sticker with the text $25 on it. It must have been a coincidence, but tired and desperate for answers, I checked the case more closely, and in the bottom corner was the name of the game store Danny must have gotten it from. And I knew the one. We used to go there as kids. It was practically down the road. Now, like I said, Danny was kind of a sketchy guy, and at a young age, I could see him stealing something like that and thinking it was funny or cool or something stupid. So maybe the guards weren't after my character. Maybe they were after Danny. And now that I have it, maybe they're after me. While in the middle of this insane revelation, I heard shuffling out in the hallway. At first, I thought it was my mom going to the bathroom, but it sounded different. I locked the door and sat in bed, too freaked out to sleep. Right at the crack of dawn, I drove down to the old game store to turn the game back in and hopefully put an end to all this. I pulled up to the parking lot, but to my horror, the store was gone. I pulled out my phone trying to look for the next closest store location, but in my search, I discovered the entire company had gone out of business years ago. I sat in my car and bawled, realizing there was no way I could ever return the game. In final desperation, I got out and smashed the game on the asphalt. Then I drove home and tried to catch up on sleep. All of that brings me up to now. I just woke up, and I must have been exhausted because it's already nighttime again. But more importantly, Oblivion is on my TV again, and it looks more hellish than ever. I think that shuffling I heard earlier was a guard. I know it sounds crazy, but I have no other explanation, because I hear it again right now. It's 1 a.m., and I'm sitting here with absolutely no idea what to do. I can hear the shuffling of guards coming closer to my door. If you never hear from me again, just don't ever buy a used game called ImperialGuard.exe.